Hello, welcome to Fanfiction Theater. Hey Melu, you made a stream. Thank you. Good to see you here. I'm Tristan from QuipTracks. With me is Kevin from QuipTracks.
Hello.
What happened to Tracy?
Hunting for something.
Okay. Got Michael T. Bradley from Ice on Mars.
Yeah, you do.
And now we've got Tracy from QuipTracks.
Hello.
Melu, you're gonna be in for some sort of ridiculous treat. I'm told there are musical numbers, and
It's going to be fantastic.
God knows what else. And that is Quinn from QuipTracks, and then we've got Drew Brock from Drawback Productions.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
we've got Kitty.
I get an intro.
Yeah, that's long overdue. Where's Kitty from?
Kitty's from around, you know.
Shut up.
She's,
Oh, okay.
I'm from this.
she's from Weird Friends. Here,
Yeah, that's
this is
yeah. Plug something.
Jeez. I do stuff, I promise.
If this lens had autofocus, I would hold it up, but I guess you can kind of read it.
Yeah.
It's all shiny.
And that's art by Cody Nasu. Woo, Cody Nasu.
Yay. Okay, so
I'm going to time out Spitfire real quick for telling the truth. For telling it like it is.
Well, it's not entirely true. You get one line and then you die. So
right.
Okay, true.
So we had an idea to start doing some like short one-offs at the beginning of the show for people who are new. They don't have to like jump into a story that has been going on for a few episodes. So if you've got a fandom that you would like to hear fan fiction of, let me know in the chat. And if nobody has ideas, I'll take suggestions from the Peanut Gallery.
Are there any wrong answers? Like, could I do like Hank of the Hill and like Ren and Stimpy?
Hank
Or,
of the Hill.
Yeah, Hank of the Hill.
Hank
and,
of the Hill.
And the what is it? The Animaniacs? Like, is there? Do you have lines?
I mean, we can try. We can sure try.
We do have Star Trek from the chat.
yeah.
Oh, like Hank
Star
of
Trek?
the Hill
Okay.
and Star Trek. There you go.
That's a classic fan fiction. So it'd be TV.
Hank of the Hill.
If you do Star Trek,
my
I get to be
favorite show.
Spock.
Oh, sorry, the Hank of the Hill. My apologies.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Any particular series of Star Trek? We can do the voices
The
for
Horda.
Voyager. We're all. What's that?
Oh no.
The Horda, Devil in the Dark.
Well,
Is
I
that an
think we
episode?
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
we
if they
could-
get that specific.
We could just
Oh.
read the script for Sub Rosa. I feel like that would be fanfic worthy.
I don't know if that
It's
is.
a little long.
That's the episode where Dr. Crusher bangs her dead grandma's ghost boyfriend.
Oh,
Did you know that Doctor?
yeah.
What's the name of the
Yeah.
other doctor who isn't Crusher? Who was there? Pulaski. Dr.
Pulaski,
Pulaski.
yeah.
That actress was in the original series.
yes.
Yeah, she
I
was.
saw that episode the other night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
did I. It's crazy.
Someone else said Red Dwarf. I have found a Star Trek Voyager Red Dwarf crossover.
Oh, it's perfect.
There's one called Command Change that's short, like 400 words.
Oh wow.
and the other one is 14,000 words.
Oh, jeez.
So those I'm gonna
The choice is made.
400 twice.
I think we'll read the 400 one.
Yeah.
Alex,
yeah.
Alex, give us the 400 one.
All right, let me get
400 for
somebody else
400, please.
on screen here.
Rest in peace, Alex Trebek.
Can you shoot the link over somewhere too, so I can
Yeah,
have one that I can
copy
read?
that.
By the way, the interesting thing about that doctor you were talking about, it was in Is There in Truth No Beauty? And
Yep.
she was the beauty. So that
Yeah, and there's a twist.
Oh, okay. I don't know what.
But I don't want to spoil the
discussed
twist
anymore.
in case anyone
in
is.
case you haven't
Okay.
watched TV since the '60s, yeah.
Well, it's. I'm just trying to be.
I've been busy.
Make sure you
Give me
post the
time.
fanfic somewhere.
Yeah,
This is a very
I posted
short
it in
fanfic.
chat, and I'm pasting it in the
Oh.
peanut gallery. There you go. Okay, browser source, command change. Here we go.
All right, so are we good?
I think we're good.
Paris tactfully edged a few centimeters away as Tuvok slowly stood up after his examination.
The captain is dead.
Chakotay rubbed the bridge of his nose. Damn it. The ship was falling apart due to the Borg attack they'd barely escaped from, and now this.
Who is talking? I guess
That's
Tuvok?
Okay, Torres.
Yeah.
No, that's
Oh.
Chakotay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Yeah, the captain
quickly,
is
I
dead.
think
That's sad. We don't even get to do our Janeway voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Janeway's
that's
dead.
That's the only
maybe
voice
she'll
I would
show
even
up.
be able to do.
Maybe she'll show up in flashbacks in this 416 word.
Yeah.
By the way, oh god damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, the summation of this is taking charge.
Okay. All right.
Cool, good. Chakotay is doing that.
Yeah. So
Who's gonna be
Tracy,
Chakotay?
Yeah,
all right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Unless you're gonna do
All
it.
right.
I don't care. I don't care.
I thought Tracy
I'll
does a
do
pretty
it.
good one,
I'll do
but
it. I'll do it.
Okay, Tracy, do a Chakotay.
Oh, Chakotay? What? Okay. Okay. Taurus 7. Damage report and repair schedule based on system priority as soon as possible. Kim, Paris, try to use what is working for a round-the-clock Try to use what is working for a round-the-clock sentry watch. Because the universe will make this the perfect time for one of the many friends we've made in this quadrant to come and pick a fight. Balana, get someone to try and reboot the doctor.
The door to the bridge hissed open, and the EMH walked in.
Boot.
already online. I've authorized emergency triage protocols and will begin treatment on the critical cases as soon as the crew headcount has been finalized.
Your central processes were fried in the first attack. How the hell could you?
Someone strode in. Paris found himself automatically standing at attention.
Oh, Paris.
Automatically.
I guess this is 7 of 9 talking?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So she walked in the room and he was.
Somebody, I don't know.
Or maybe not?
Somebody.
Oh, no. No, she's staring at the stranger. Who the hell is... Oh, it must be
it's
someone...
probably
a Red Dwarf
a Red
character?
Dwarf
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So
Rimmer.
Quinn,
Sit down here. The man... Yeah, Arnold J. Rimmer.
I know nothing about Red Dwarf, so
Just
Does-
it's a red dwarf, so just do like Gimli.
yeah.
you got it. You got
Is Rimmer the cat?
No.
Easy fix. I found some nifty dedicated systems not being used in your holodeck and rerouted his processing functions through those. I'm apparently a pirate.
Just...
Can you move
If
your-
you're
your
curious, he's a very smug character, and he thinks he's much better than he is.
No,
So-
fuck you. I'm doing him as a pirate.
All right, that's
R2
fine.
Datala has
I'm-
one
A
note.
smog pirate.
R2 Datala has one note, and it is no.
I
Can
just
you move your lozenges, Tristan? You're blocking part of the words.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of the way.
your
No.
lozenge. There's
Down in front.
there's
That
something we need to
shapeless
bring back.
lozenge.
Move your lozenge.
Move
Oh,
your
bite my-
lozenge, people.
Bite my thumb at you. 7 of 9 found
Bank.
7 of 9 found random and abnormally high hormonal levels within her system. Malfunctioning implants were the most likely cause. The only reason she was staring so intently at this stranger and primarily exhaling through her mouth.
Oh my god.
This
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, we already know that Rick Berman wrote this, so
I
yeah.
normally exhale through my ass.
This person gave
As
Torres
is my people's way.
this person gave Torres a wry grin.
just heading through this section of the multiverse and saw you were in a bit of a pickle. Most of your sensor networks were knocked out. Probably why you didn't see me slip in.
Torres tried to cover up her smile and girlish giggle. She failed miserably.
Anyway, let's get the how do you do's out of the way and get you out of here. So, Nebula, a few parsecs away, that'll hide your sensor profile long enough for to get some serious repair work in. Oh my god, I regret this voice. Just need to get your FTLs working long enough to get there, and Bob's your uncle.
Chakotay found his voice.
There it is.
Chicote?
Chicote.
Have you found your voice?
As much as I'd like to take orders or suggestions from a complete and total stranger. You mind telling us who you are?
The man raised a silver-encased arm and took off what Paris recognized as genuine classic aviator-style sunglasses.
Arnold J. Rimmer. My friends call me Ace.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Who's that? Oh, okay.
No, I think
Never
that's
mind.
Kim. I think that's Kim.
I don't
because
know.
Paris
It
is
could be
like,
anyone.
What a guy!
Right, right.
Paris is just like,
It's
Paris is
okay.
like, whoa, homoerotic much?
So Ace is because they do a lot with parallel universes in Red Dwarf, and Ace is like a super cool version of Rimmer. So I was wrong about him being smug and thinking he's better than what he is.
I
So it's
see.
like and people always when he leaves the room or enters the room are like, what a guy. So Paris tactfully edged a few centimeters away from the awestruck Kim. Wah, wah.
You don't want to be around an awestruck Kim.
He'll whip out his clarinet and he doesn't care who's in the way.
Was that a story? What was that?
That was the one.
That was a
vignette.
fan
I
paragraph.
think some fan fiction authors would call that a drabble.
I would call it a literary lozenge.
It's somebody's timed writing exercise.
where?
10 minutes, done!
Favorites. Okay.
You're welcome, Artie Duty Data Law.
Never gonna get that name right.
He thanked me for being like the one person who knew anything about Red Dwarf. So
We're doing
I-
Steve
not a
Blank
clue.
now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, plank it up.
Steve
Oh, let's
Blank, the Before Times, the finale.
I glanced through it and I saw one typo that I'm very excited to get to.
Oh god fucking damn it.
So sorry, Tristan. I thought you were
That's-
saying something and I
yeah.
interrupted you.
Yeah, I was also getting the link in the chat. Chapter 9 is what we're on. So Steve Plank is a character from the Left Behind book series. We read a Reba Left Behind crossover a little while ago, and then Quinn took it upon themselves to write the prequel for his character. He is a reporter for Global Weekly.
Nothing specific, just the globe.
Yeah. And
Where's your jurisdiction? Everywhere.
the twist of this story was that it was a lot of the details were filled in by Mad Lib at the beginning, and thus Steve Plank is in a relationship with Dolly Parton, and his former partner was a gerbil called Nibbles, and they were uncovering a secret evil plot of the Chair organization, which stands for what
Cooperative,
again?
cooperative, hoping to acquire
hoping
an
to acquire
international regime.
An international regime, yes, which is run by Henry Winkler, and we've just recently found the counter.
Quinn wrote it. Let's let them talk about it.
Oh, sure.
Well, the at one point during the story, there was a bit of air travel, and as we all know, Tom Hanks is the patron lord of all air travel. So,
Yes.
I decided that Tom Hanks would be the perfect foil to Henry Winkler, and so now Steve Plank and Dolly Parton have teamed up with Tom Hanks and his army to do battle with Henry Winkler.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are we?
Yeah.
I guess. Chapter 9, Finale. After a kick-ass montage where all of Tom Hanks's allies, and by extension, Steve's allies, geared up for the ultimate final confrontation between them and the forces of Henry Winkler, everyone stood in the main hall, waiting for the teleporter to transport the group into Winkler Castle. Steve cinched his kimono tight around his waist, reaching for the 2x4, which Castle Hanks's blacksmith had pounded a few nails into to increase its killing power. Dolly adjusted her plate armor, pulling out her nunchucks, which had also had nails driven into them to increase their killing power. Steve gave Dolly a somber nod and went to look for Tom Hanks. After asking Billy Bob Thornton for directions, Steve found Tom Hanks, who had transformed. His giant winged shape towered over the teeming mass of celebrities and theoretically fictional characters. His skin was either blue and black or white and gold, it depended on the light he was standing in, and was pulled taut over the immaculate physique of the demon god. Dude literally had the sickest abs, and I do mean literally. His abs were sick. They vomited constantly, spewing out half-digested goats, which, as everyone knows, is Tom Hanks's favorite food. His fangs dripped with venom, the thick, matted hair waterfalling off the back of his faceplace into a wild mane. His eyes, a deep red glow emanating from them, fell on Steve as he walked towards the hulking Hanks.
He's come so far since Bosom Buddies.
Who is our Tom Hanks?
When is
I
Peter
just
Stormare going
not
to show
me.
up?
Was it Drew?
It might have been Drew. Drew, beep.
Well, I'm Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Mr. Plank. Have you made a decision on what to do with our wayward rodent? According to our spies, his execution is set to be carried out in an hour. You're cutting it pretty close.
This would be Tracy.
Who is not in the call anymore.
Well, all right. I guess I'll take over in the meantime. It's no secret that I've had a complicated relationship with Nibbles.
Said.
That time in the 80s when we had that punch dancing studio was magical. Then the whole thing a couple of days ago when he betrayed us, that really blew. But still, I think I owe it to him to try and save him. He's being used by Winkler for his mad gun kata skills, which is just an unfortunate circumstance.
Tom Hanks grunted.
A very unfortunate circumstance.
He said, flexing his massive goat wings.
Very well, we shall save the rodent. Now, return to your place in the formation. We'll be moving out soon.
Steve bowed and left Tom Hanks's presence.
Author's note, I do not share Steve Plank's views on punch dancing. It's fucking lame, dude.
Wait, now what is punch dancing is a thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was just words you strang together for humor because I thought that was funny.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Man.
It's a very 80s.
Very 80s.
Yeah.
Really? So
Very,
it's not like Taibo. It
flash
predates
dance
Zumba.
Kind of.
Punch dancing. But not capoeira.
No.
I'm just... Okay, I know so many forms of dance in this. punch dancing got by me. All right, I got research to do.
All right. This is Henry Winkler. So.
Okay, now I'm gonna.
Oh yes.
Just for people tuning in new, I had done this voice for a long time before we knew it was Henry Winkler, so I'm sticking with the old menacing voice and not using my spot-on Henry Winkler impersonation.
Right.
That everybody
Sometimes
knows.
his Winkler sneaks in though. You can hear it sometimes. Like,
Buford, bring Nibbles. It's time for his execution. Everyone, take your places.
Henry Winkler called across the command center. Buford gave a solemn nod, motioning for the goon in hooded robes to pull a lever. A panel in the ceiling slid back, and the tiny form of the gerbil was lowered into the room. Hanging by his hands, naked except for the soft fur covering the entirety of his body, Nibbles looked in the direction of his descent. A stereotypical pool with a shark that was fed a steady supply of human and gerbil sat directly beneath him. A short way away, Henry Winkler sat giggling and clapping his hands.
Hurry! I want to watch this. It'll be hilarious.
Winkler called to the guy pulling the lever. The guy pulling the lever rolled his eyes and pulled the lever even harder, which did nothing since it was already pulled all the way down. Winkler quickly got bored and pulled out a Tokarev pistol that he'd taken from Nibbles' gear, firing a few shots at the hanging lump of gerbil. All went wide of the mark, but Henry Winkler, with his knack for comedic timing, took careful aim and began to squeeze the trigger.
hello, Henry.
Said Tom Hanks, taking the pistol from Winkler, crushing it into a powder and snorting it.
Thought I'd stop in and see if there was anything I could do. You seem to be attempting a global takeover, which is cool and all, but kind of sucks for those of us who enjoy the world as it is, you know?
Oh no, it's those of yous. I apologize.
Oh.
For those of yous.
Oh.
We aren't all
sucks
just
for those
geeks.
of yous.
Some of us have uses.
What's the
Yous,
matter with
like-
yous over here?
Like Tom Hanks is
So-
always saying.
Yeah. His catchphrase.
Just catchphrase, yeah.
So, maybe stop?
Tom Hanks has kind of turned into Clippy here. You seem to be attempting a global takeover. Can I help with that?
Thank you. That was the idea.
Oh, okay.
Winkler's face contorted into a frown, a real effort for him because he is, as has been previously established, an incredibly nice person. He vanished into a cloud of leather jackets before appearing across the room.
Tom Hanks, even your power won't be enough to stop me when I ascend to my true final form.
His body started to bubble and shift, transforming him. His already white hair shifted into white, as did the rest of him. The truest white. Betty White.
Oh, Henry.
Scoffed Tom Hanks.
How ironic.
Yeah, I know. Well done. Surely you don't think that I'm afraid of this form. You and I both know our powers are comparable when in these shapes.
Maybe the last time we did battle, Tom Hanks, but I have done a lot of training since then.
Henry Winkler called, taking up a drunken warrior fighting stance.
Me and the rest of my cronies can mop the floor with you. You should never have come here alone.
Still no Tracy.
Oh.
Okay. Who said he was alone?
Responded a very Steve Plankish voice from the shadows. Steve Plank stepped out into a beam of light clearly placed by the filmmaker to emphasize how truly fucking badass this moment was. He drew his 2x4, taking care not to injure himself on the nails that had been added to increase the killing power of the weapon. Putting his fingers to his lips, he attempted to do that cool cowboy whistle thing where they stick a couple of fingers in their mouth and get all of the cow's attention, but failed, instead choosing to yell,
Let's punt these wombats.
A roar of voices answered him, and the two armies began to do battle in the hall of extremely ambiguous size.
Author's
So-
note, I do not share Steve Plank's infatuation with cool lighting.
I have a question. He drew his 2x4, so does he have a 2x4 scabbard of some kind?
Right.
Oh, well,
That's
of
specially-
course.
handles
Obviously.
the nails? Okay.
Yes. Those nails that have been driven into it to increase the killing power.
Okay. Does he have a concealed carry permit for his 2x4 with nails?
Well, it's Australia, so he shouldn't be carrying a 2x4 with nails anyway.
Okay.
Well, no, it's fine.
Really, that's just like one
He's
big
cannon.
pant leg.
Okay.
He puts
No,
it in.
he keeps a glove with nails in the trunk with
Oh,
him. So if a cop pulls
okay.
him over, he just shows him and he's fine.
Wait, punch dancing? Okay. Steve hugged Dolly to him, taking care not to puncture himself with the nails that had been pounded through her nunchucks to increase their killing power. He grabbed a rope from somewhere and swung into the fray because that's what heroes do. A quick swing of his 2x4 with nails driven through it to increase the killing power dealt with the nameless goons at their landing location. He and Dolly took up a fight stance where they stood back to back.
Dolly!
Steve called to her.
Yes, Steve?
Dolly responded, her nunchucks tearing through opponents because they had had nails driven through them to increase their killing power.
I think you're
I
messing
think
with
this-
He
me.
liked that sentence. He likes that sentence.
I think this is the point where we're supposed to have a heartfelt conversation about our relationship during an incredibly tense situation. Do you want to start?
Steve said, taking swings at some guy who probably sucked.
Nah, I think y'all know that trope is hella played out. Why don't we skip it? We need to fight our way to nibbles.
God, I love you.
Steve yelled, pleased that Dolly also thought that the trope was really stupid. Unfortunately, he continued, inviting the bad timing.
Yeah, I was thinking after this, maybe we could go to my hometown and meet my folks.
Well, I hope y'all have an extra room for the pitter-patter of little feet.
Dolly called back, practically begging me to bring on a tragic death scene.
Yeah, true. You gave me too many lines for that.
Plus, Kitty's reading it, so.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've taken nibbles there before. They loved him.
No, I mean, I'm forgetting the y'all.
Steve nearly dropped his 2x4, which I feel is still important to remind you, had nails driven through it so as to increase its killing power.
Turning into a villanelle.
Yeah. Harder to date a lot thinks Dolly needs to sing. I don't know. Somebody's going to sing.
Yeah.
Vaccine.
Oh, okay, but you're Dolly. Go ahead, sing.
No, I don't even remember the
Dolly.
tune. Come on.
Dolly, that's wonderful. I'm so excited to look out.
Steve screamed as he saw a flash and something plunge into her chest. I stood there, choosing to take matters into my own hands, thrusting my pen directly into her heart, because they done poked the bear.
Arthur, you bastard!
Steve yelled.
Okay, it's getting silly now. And
Quinn, you
Like Anakin Skywalker before you, you have done that to yourself. Or you have done that yourself. And also you hate sand because it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I responded, turning into a mist and fading away. Steve ran over to Dolly, kneeling beside her, picking up her hand as ink gushed from the wound between her ribs. Because it's fucking poetic, okay?
Dolly, we're gonna get you out of here, all right?
Steve spoke in a shaky voice, holding her hands in his.
All those things we talked about, we're gonna do them. Just you. God damn it!
Steve was cut off again as I reappeared and started kicking the dying body of Dolly Parton.
Oh no! Quinn, do we
I can't
need to talk?
take this.
Do we need to have like
Not
a
even in
side
fiction.
chat?
I told them that I wasn't going to stand for this kind of cliche bullshit in my story, goddammit. I'm not taking this. Keep it up and I will turn this whole story around. Try me. Steve attempted to shoo me away, but as the author, I am pretty awesome, so he couldn't actually do anything. Get back to the cool fight and just do some gosh darn cool things so I can get to something funny. As he tried to get me again, I pointed up to the ceiling where a grand piano hung directly above Dolly. Stop it. Don't you tell me that as the writer I choose what to focus on. I'm clearly attempting to do a bit, and it's probably not working. It's definitely gone on for long enough. Finally, Steve gave up his futile attempts to go through with a cliché, and our battle resumed.
Thank you for joining, Malu. Have a good dinner.
Winkler flew backwards through a wall, his fragile, nonagenarian body crushing the brick and mortar into dust. Is he really that old? Damn.
No, he's not, but he's in the shape of Betty White, remember?
Oh, right.
And I'm pretty sure she's a nonagenarian.
Yeah.
She's
That
like
sounds
900 at least.
He gathered himself and lunged at Tom Hanks, who his massive size left him slow and unable to dodge. Henry Betty White Winkler slammed him at high speed. Tom Hanks flapped his wings to attempt to gain his balance. He called out to his army,
Bards, to the fore!
No, this is Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Drew? Did we lose Drew?
Oh
I think we
no.
lost Drew.
Damn.
What is happening?
I don't
Wasn't
know.
like
It's-
flying
My
tonight.
job, it's cutting out. Sorry. March to the fore.
Bob Dylan and Fred Schneider came forward. Bob Dylan and Fred Schneider came forward. Bob with his harmonica and guitar, Fred with a B-52, all of which had nails pounded through them to increase their killing power. The duo looked at each other, nodded, and began to play their instruments. Louis
How
Armstrong
much did
appeared.
Tristan pay you to put Fred Schneider in here?
I did not.
I know.
Tristan did not. I was just trying to come up with the funniest voices I could think of to sing this song.
Louis Armstrong appeared, and the trio began to sing. Play WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. That was the
Yeah.
typo I saw that made me laugh. Megan Thee Stallion.
That's how it's
the-
pronounced.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was Megan Three Stallion.
No,
I thought about use. I thought that was the one you were saying.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I watched that video like 37 times in slow motion, and I never noticed that.
I always miscaption it
Wasn't
as
looking at
just
that
Megan
part.
the Stallion, so I have to have an override to make sure it prints that way. Megan the Stallion.
All right.
All right,
That's
who wants to be
So,
Louis Armstrong?
more
Saying
connection.
there's some whores in this house.
There's
Oh,
some
who's ready?
whores in this
In this house, there's whores in this house.
my
That's
only
good.
my only request is that I'm Bob Dylan.
Oh, by all
Oh,
means.
please. Go for it.
So who's doing Louis?
Oh, we just did
I
two
can
of
do
them.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
a
Drew.
double Louis.
Okay.
Louis, even.
All right. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy make that pullout game weak. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket. No,
This is
a
like.
bucket and a mop for this wet ass
I
pussy.
isn't there
Did you say bring a
like
Muppet?
one of the voices on like Bullwinkle that does something like that? I don't remember who it is, but
Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Beat it up, friend. Catch
maybe
a
it's
charge.
just Bullwinkle that I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top. I want to ride. Do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth. Look in my eyes. This pussy wet. Come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's role play. I'll wear a disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it cream. Make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring.
Hey, gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Quick, jump out before you let it get inside of me. I tell him where to put it. I never tell him where I'm about to be. I'll run you down. Wait. I'll run down on him before I have some joker running me. Goddamn. Talk your shit, bite your lip, ask for a car while you ride that dick. You really ain't never gotta fuck him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. I'm sorry, I'm not as familiar with the rhythm. I haven't. I wasn't prepared for this beforehand.
I've been listening to the song like on repeat for like the past 2 days to get prepared, so it's understandable.
Now get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass pussy. He brought a phone just for pictures of this wet-ass pussy. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet-ass pussy. Now make it rain if you want to see some wet-ass pussy.
Look, I need a hard hitter. I need a deep stroker. I need a Henny drinker. I need a weed smoker. Not a garden snake. I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. He got some money, then that's where I'm heading. Pussy A1, just like his credit. He got a beard, well, I'm trying to wet it. Let him taste it, now he diabetic. I don't want to spit, I want to gulp. I want to gag, I want to choke. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that swing in the back of my throat. My head game is fire, Punani Dasani. It's going and drying, it's coming out soggy. I ride on that thing like the cops is behind me. I spit on his mic, now he trying to sign me. Woo!
First two. Or three.
Oh, we're doing the whole.
This is, there's a lot.
You know what gets me someday, this is going to play in elevators and shopping
Exactly.
malls.
I mean,
when you're
honestly,
shopping.
can you blame me? This song is like just
Well,
absolutely magical. It's fantastic.
It
It's
really
really
is like a
brilliant.
modern troubadour.
taken the embedded lyrics as far as it can be taken legally, and I'm not sure this is legal, frankly.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Let's get a few more whores in this house from Louis Armstrong.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Haunting. All right. We made it.
Oh, we did it. Woo. Oh.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing I've ever seen.
I'm really sad.
Cardi B agrees. That was in fact the hardest thing she ever seen.
I'm a little sad that we're skipping it, but okay.
I am too, but I understand.
After the
you
end-
did it on your own. It's
Well, I mean, I know the lyrics practically by heart, Kevin.
I mean, who
I haven't
doesn't?
read down his shirt.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't watched a music video since Anaconda from Nicki Minaj so much. After the
Now, when
end of
she
the
did
song,
kegels with the credit card, does that mean it's actually scanning, or
It means
I'm
it
just
got
still thinking
it went through.
those were two different metaphors.
Those are two different lyrics. He's swiping his nose like it's a credit card.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
did my wife and I miss anything?
No, not a word.
We invited
I
our
had to
church
water
to
the
watch
plant.
this.
I'm sorry.
I just want to give a shout out to everyone in all the volunteer groups I work for.
After the end of the song, the battle started going better for Tom Hanks' forces. Finally, the nails that had been driven through all of their weapons to increase killing power took their toll on all of Henry Winkler's men. Tetanus ran rampant through the field of battle.
Author's note: there are, in fact, some whores in this house.
Steve continued to cause problems for the members of Chair that crossed his path, swinging his 2x4 that had nails driven through it to increase its killing power, as though it were a 2x4 that had nails driven through it to increase its killing power.
Are we supposed to be doing a drinking game?
We would probably die. Finally, he saw his nemesis through the haze of smoke that had covered the field. Buford was levitating a few inches off the ground, firing chairs at people from his fingertips. Steve crossed the distance between them in a reasonable amount of time, swinging his 2x4 with nails that had been driven into it to increase the killing power with the might of a mountain gorilla who had just been told that it's time to put away his transformers and get to bed. Buford crumpled and flew across the room, knocking various battlers out of the way and crashing into a wall. After the dust had settled, he floated out of the wall.
Ah, Mr. Plank,
Buford chuckled.
the man who I have an unreasonable bias against for the purpose of plot. Have you chosen to do battle with me? If so, you will meet your end.
Meeting an end. Here I go, meeting an end. I mean, I kind of just answered that when I hit you with this 2x4 and sent you flying across the room.
Steve replied, kinda off balance because that's a really stupid question for someone to ask.
You mean that 2x4 in your hand?
Buford asked.
What are those things in the end there?
Oh, those are nails that have been driven through the board.
They look like they increase the killing power.
Steve, tired of this bit, charged at
It's
Buford,
just funny.
who began summoning
I feel like it just paid off in a big way.
and firing chairs at Steve. Our hero used his 2x4 that had nails driven through it to increase its killing power to swat the chairs away as he closed the distance.
Now you're playing with fire. Now you're really playing with fire.
Yeah. Plus, you don't want to swat at it with nails because he'll stick chairs to it and it'll be useless.
Well, then that would just increase the killing power even further.
Right.
Put nails in the chairs.
No, that just like adds a
Wait.
smashed chair over them right before the death.
Unfortunately, Buford managed to fly higher into the air, avoiding Steve's swipes.
Now, I have to
Like a
ask,
credit
though,
card.
did you cheat? Did you copy and paste the phrase with nails?
Did not. I
Okay.
did not, actually. I typed
You used
it
a
out
macro,
every
didn't you?
single time.
Fair play.
How dare you accuse me of that, sir?
Artidu Data Law notes that this may be beyond the rule of threes by a tad.
Yeah, Quinn thinks it's 3,000.
I know. Well, I feel it.
Well, what is it, like a rule
I
of
don't know.
multiple
I
of
feel like
threes?
right then at that moment, I felt this had better be something, and it was. I think it was funny because it was very self-aware.
Let's take a
But now it's
moment to
starting up again.
dissect it.
Yes, let's explain comedy.
This is the conquest of Everest again.
Well, I think
Yeah.
my style of humor is taking something stupid and running it into the ground until it's never funny anymore. So there, I hope you're happy.
I'm stealing your humor.
I've done it.
You hit on something there. It's a compliment, I think.
All right, Buttercup.
Being an ass.
Okay. Are we here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've got your back!
Yelled Buttercup from above them. Looking up, Steve saw she was hanging from a convenient chandelier. Buttercup used her pistol, which had nails driven into it to increase its killing power, to fire at the point on the wall where the chandelier chain was fastened, causing the light fixture to fall from the ceiling and directly onto Buford. After the dust settled around the impact site, Steve ran up to see if he needed to give Buford another beating. Luckily, the chandelier had nails driven through it to increase its killing power, and Buford was stone cold dead. Huzzah!
Okay, I withdraw my complaint.
You successfully made it to the rule of 3 cubed.
As long as it's a multiple of 3, you're still technically following the rule of 3.
Now it's just like, wait, what part of this sentence can we, like, it's popping up in new
Drive
parts of
nails
the
through it.
sentence. Like, it's like an important plot point now. Fortunately, it was good. It's really good. I approve. We can move on. I think this is a yes from me.
Thank you,
You've
Randy
advanced to the final round.
A villainous shriek erupted from Henry Betty White Winkler as Tom Hanks continued pounding away at him, his fists taking the forms of fists that had nails driven through them to increase their killing power. Winkler did his best to block, but one punch got through, sending him flying through the castle walls. It was kind of like those scenes in Dragon Ball Z where someone gets sent through like 6 mountains, but it was giant demon god Tom Hanks and Henry Betty Golden Girl's White Winkler. Tom Hanks had won. It was a glorious victory. After Tom Hanks had resumed his usual form, Steve ran up to him.
I think it's over. Now we need to save Nibbles. He's still hanging over the shark tank,
Steve said, sweat rolling down his face.
Now we just need to...
Chuckling was heard, and that chuckling turned into a maniacal laugh spread throughout the hall. Tom Hanks's army looked around as the form of Henry Winkler reappeared at several points throughout the room, cackling madly. Appearing behind Tom Hanks, he did a Vulcan nerve pinch, causing the exhausted Tom Hanks to collapse, unconscious.
How do you do that on goat wings? I wonder.
Well, Tom Hanks had resumed his normal form.
Oh,
Right.
he did too? Okay.
One by one, he teleported to every person in the room, pinching them unconscious, conspicuously leaving Steve conscious. After everyone was down, Winkler appeared on the other side of the hall, sitting atop a jet ski.
I get it. I get it. I see what's coming here.
Right.
Yeah, I see where we're going. I may not have the world plank, but I will at least kill this stupid rodent.
He yelled, revving the jet ski and gunning it towards a ramp that had appeared next to the shark tank. He was going to hit Nibbles while jumping the shark. At first, Steve wasn't concerned, but then he saw that the jet ski had had nails driven through it to increase its killing power. He sprinted towards Nibbles hanging over the shark tank and took a flying leap. With one hand, he grabbed the chain, and with the other, swung his 2x4 with nails driven into it to increase its killing power into Henry Winkler's face. Winkler went careening off into a wall, the jet ski exploding on impact. Winkler was hopefully dead. Probably because I can't really think of another way to end him that tops being hit in the face with a 2x4 that has nails driven through it to increase its killing power while you're literally jumping a shark. Suddenly, an alarm began to blare. Steve quickly freed Nibbles by undoing the twist tie connecting him to the chain and leapt down to the ground. Nibbles coughed and looked up into Steve's face.
Steve, but why? I was a total dick.
He coughed.
Not now, Nibbles. Do you know what this alarm means?
Yeah, Winkler had a monitor attached to his heart. When he died, the base was set to self-destruct in 2 minutes. Only a handprint from Buford or myself can stop it. You all need to get out of here. I'll try to stop the explosion. And if I don't stop it, the blast will take out half of Melbourne.
Steve set the gerbil down.
Nibbles, if you fail, I'll have lost both you and Dolly today. So don't fail.
He said, trying to put humor into his voice. Nibbles coughed and grabbed his ribs.
I have to address that. I gotta put humor into my voice for that last bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
So don't fail!
He said, trying to put humor into his voice. Nibbles coughed and grabbed his ribs.
Don't worry about me, Steve. The Lord will protect me,
said Nibbles, a smile
Christ,
crossing
Lord.
his face.
I took a drink of tea that I thought was water. So it tasted like there were leaves and crap and sugar in the water. Okay, so, sorry. Do you go back a line so that I can get the timing on this? This is the end of the scene and I'm kind of blowing it.
Don't worry about me, Steve. The Lord will protect me,
said Nibbles, a smile crossing his face.
But Tom Hanks is unconscious. There's no way that he could...
Not him, Steve. The big kahuna. The man upstairs. I'm a born-again Christian,
replied Nibbles.
Now get everyone out of here. You've only got another minute.
Ba-doop beep. Nibbles watched as Steve ran around the room, collecting the unconscious bodies of everyone who'd received the Winkler neck pinch. He turned and stumbled in the opposite direction, towards Winkler's throne. He hadn't been completely honest with Steve. For one, he wasn't sure Winkler had left his handprint in the system, so he wasn't sure he could shut off the self-destruct mechanism. For another, he wasn't even sure if it could be shut off, since Winkler was a madman and might have disabled the shut-off entirely. But he had to try. He opened a door just behind Winkler's throne and used his memory to guide himself down the perfectly straight hall with no bends in it, a rarity for Winkler's absurdly confusing castle. Finally, he made it into a room that was lit with a faint green glow. He shoved broken hoses and wires that had fallen from the ceiling off of the console and placed his hand on the palm reader. He silently prayed that Winkler had forgotten to remove him from the system. A green light blinked on the console, telling him that it had worked.
Computer.
Oh.
This is
it
Nibbles.
is Nibbles. Okay.
Computer. Cancel castle self-destruct sequence. Authorization Nibbles 17346732146 Charlie 32789777643 Tango 732 Victor 731178888 73247677 no 76 All right. Computer. Cancel castle self-destruct sequence. Authorization Nibble 173. Computer cancels castle self-destruct sequence. Authorization Nibbles 1374673.
You already messed it up. 173.
Okay, all right.
Fine, fuck it. Wait, I said the goddamn thing, okay? Are you happy? No, I said it. It's done. We're
No,
gone.
we should stop criticizing, and you should take a run at it. I think you can do it.
I think his code should have been the entire lyrics to Wet Ass Pussy again.
Oh, this code is actually
If you had the gut, if you had any
anybody
guts.
who knows it.
Oh, wait, when you scan that guy's nose, this is the number that comes up.
Wait a minute.
no.
Wait a minute. 17346732146 Charlie 32789777643 Tango 732 Victor 731178888 732476789764376. That's my lucky number.
We saved the day.
Okay, well, he said it. Just make my voice sound like his or his.
Thanks, Henry Winkler.
Fix it in
That's
post.
perfect.
What a great guy, Henry Lee
Well,
Winkler.
fix it in
Your
Right?
neighbor law says that's my
Henry
kid.
Winkler, everybody.
Oh, no.
And it's actually in the Star Trek TNG episode Brothers, when Data hijacks the Enterprise, he speaks in Picard's voice and enters that code absurdly fast.
Really?
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's
Because like in the old Star Trek, the self-destruct code was like 1A1B.
well, he was locking people out of the system because
Yeah.
he had been hijacked by Noonien Soong. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's Star Trek reference, okay?
The more you know.
They lost a lot of ships with that super simple code, and so decided to make it a little more difficult for the future.
All right, somebody play the computer.
Processing. Self-destruct sequence terminated. Initiating double-crossing rodent sequence.
Double-crossing rodent sequence? Computer, what are you...
Nibbles began before being cut off. A video feed appeared above the console, depicting Winkler and his throne petting Jenkins.
I knew this day would come, Nibbles. You are a traitor. Always have been. I set up the computer system to initiate a level 4 sanitation procedure in this room if you disabled the castle self-destruct. You have 30 seconds to say your goodbyes. There's a cell phone taped under the console.
Nibbles slammed his tiny fists into the console. He should have known that Winkler didn't trust him. How could he? Their entire relationship was based on betrayal. He ran over to the door, but it was no use. The level 4 sanitation had sealed the room entirely, and in 25 seconds, the space would be filled with acid and blown up. Resigned to his fate, he walked over to the console, lit a cigarette, and pulled out the phone. He dialed Steve's number, but since Steve was busy evacuating the castle, it went to his voicemail. Ba-doop beep.
Did we get everyone out?
Steve asked Tom Hanks.
I believe so. The only people who've been left behind, I get it, were Nibbles, Buford, and the Pace formerly known as Henry Winkler.
Replied Tom Hanks, checking his watch while he spoke.
Seems like Nibbles was successful. We're not all dead.
A jumbotron on the side of Winkler's castle came to life. On the screen was a video feed of the control room slowly filling with acid. Nibbles had done his best to reach a high point, but the acid was rising at a steady rate. Steve immediately lunged back for the castle, but was restrained by Tom Hanks.
It's too dangerous.
Tom Hanks said, his tone dead.
No, it is too dangerous. I know what that is. It's a level 4 sanitation procedure. The room will fill with acid and then explode, which seems really an inefficient way to do that. There's nothing we could do except teleport him out, but that'd be inconvenient for the major tragic twist of this story. I'm sorry, Steve.
I was going to ask about that.
But acid? Yeah, that was nuts.
No, the teleport. I'm like, these guys have teleporters, so...
Yeah, you're one of these guys that, why didn't they take the Eagles to Mordor, right? Shut up.
You have to whisper one of those butterflies first.
No, I never read that because I'm not a nerd.
You're a nerd. Stop it.
Well, I still...
All nerds here.
Speak for yourself, nerd.
Okay.
Nerd talk.
This is my. I'm gonna win a Webby for this performance. So.
Oh Lord.
All right. Don't
Do you want me to?
He
put
needs
you on
this for his
screen
real.
it?
Everybody, shut up.
Put me on. No, do not put me on screen.
Oh, do not.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No. Oh.
Oh.
He's wearing a cap,
Don't do
everyone.
it.
A
He's
cap.
gonna win one of those voice-only Webbies. Let's go.
Voice only category. Winner Tracy Bowersocks.
Yeah, let's get your acceptance speech first. Let's get that out of the way.
See, now you're thinking like me. Okay. No! There's gotta be some way! Please! I can't lose him and Dolly in the same day! This isn't fair!
Helping you do that so good.
You can't, right? I'm not your puppet!
Steve yelled, struggling against Tom Hanks's silky yet masculine hands. He felt a bump on his noggin.
Beep.
Go to sleep, sweet prince.
A priest-looking guy.
Okay. Friends, family, we are gathered here to say goodbye to two heroes who gave their lives to foil the dastardly plans of Henry Winkler, Dolly
Okay.
Parton, and Nibbles.
Said some priest-looking guy.
While their loss is tragic, it is important to remember that they saved us all. Without their sacrifice, the world would be overrun with Henry Winkler's evil tomfoolery. Their friend and former pimp, Steve Plank, has chosen to say a few words.
The priest guy gestured for Steve to take the lectern and went to sit down.
Thank you.
Steve said, hitting every pocket on his shirt, pants, and overcoat, failing to find his notes, and then giving up to speak from the heart.
What is this bait? This is some kind of bait? What is this? What do you want?
A juggalo has
Want me to
choked
start
on their
singing the
face.
song? A juggalo has choked on their fago. Congratulations. Try to slip that murder in. You killed a man. Or woman.
What the hell?
I have no qualms
I
with the juggalo.
don't know what's happening.
I don't
anymore.
have his sides. I don't know where I'm lost.
It's a They Might Be Giants reference.
Is this the pink?
Okay.
Is this the pink pages? What are we doing today?
There's a they might no, there's a,
Every time
it's
you
a they might be
reference it,
Giants reference. It's right there. But
But you can't
Why
see
is it
because
there?
Tracy's pointing to it.
I'm not pointing.
you can't see where he's pointing.
Just move on.
Just
Well, it's your line.
move on.
So
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
It's your line.
This is all you.
What can be said about Dolly and
Oh
Nibbles?
my gosh, I'm sorry. I thought I had no more lines. So
We were also confused.
what can be said? What can be said about Dolly and Nipples? I know this priest-looking guy said they were heroes, but I don't see that from them. Dolly, she was the best girlfriend any person could ask for. Her large wealth allowed me to pay the bills, and I have never known someone to be more of a tender lover. Her. She loved them so much, and all the dipping sauces too. Barbecue, honey mustard, sweet and sour, any kind of dipping sauce you can think of. Deep down, she was just a simple, down-home country girl. And I loved her with all of my heart.
He gazed out at the assembled crowd that included Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White, and Monty and the Holy Grail's Black Knight, and Benito Mussolini and the Blue Meanie, and Cowboy Curtis, and Zombie the Genie, Robocop, the Terminator, Captain Kirk and Darth Vader, Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger, Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan, Spock, The Rock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan, all of whom had tears in their eyes.
Even Spock, come on.
He's part human.
He's half human. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. If it's gonna happen to a Vulcan, it's gonna be to him.
Nerds.
That should tell you just what a historic event this is. In what, 2005?
I don't know.
it's your line
It's
again, by the way.
See, but he did
Okay.
this slingshot move around the sun. And never mind, go back.
Thanks, Artidudela. You're the only one who cares.
See, and Nibbles, well, found out a few days ago that Nibbles managed to leave me one last voicemail before he died. I'm going to play it for you.
Steve pulled out his phone and held it up to the microphone. Nibbles' voice came from the speaker.
Hey, buddy. Just wanted to say goodbye. I've not always been a good friend, but I know you always had my back. I'm sorry about the whole betraying you to help rule the world thing, but honestly, I think you'd have done the same thing. Don't forget to take out the garbage on Tuesdays. If you do it any sooner, that weird lady from Tubi, or was it not Tubi? Anyway, she'll dig through it. Well, looks like the acid is about to pour into this room. Guess I'd better let you go. See you fucking prick.
Right before he died,
Steve spoke.
Nibbles told me he'd become a born-again Christian. He told me that the Lord would keep him safe, but God let him die. Man, fuck God.
Play Any Way You Want It by Journey. It really should be at the end of every single piece of media.
Yeah.
The end.
Author's note, all the persons in the story that aren't named Buford, Nibbles, Sally, and probably a few others do not belong to me. The real names of the celebrities have been used for comedic effect. I do not own Steve Plank or the Left Behind franchise, nor do I own the rights to WAP or Any Way You Want It. Thank you for reading the story. I hope chuckling was heard, but I mean, that's a given because I'm fucking hilarious. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Such a good sign off.
So no Dolly Partons were harmed in the making of this, right?
Just one.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
choose to
Dollies. Or sweet
Yes, I
dollies.
choose to believe that.
Yes, by a very specific definition of harm, as buried in the law somewhere.
We're getting clapping.
Yay!
Yay!
Chuckling
Thank you,
was
Intrepid
heard.
Olivia. I did want to make Steve Plank's views on God finally make sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so-
and I think,
Of course.
yeah, we
Yeah,
got
I
there
thought
eventually.
I thought that was a little weird with Nibbles saying he was a born again Christian. I was like, this doesn't
forgot
quite
what it
work
was
as a
prequel
joke.
to.
It's just odd. And then I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're going for the like, 'cause this is a prequel, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tied in.
Took a long time to get there, but it,
And I think that the true test of a prequel is when you rewatch the original, you
It
can
adds something. Yeah.
yeah. So
Right.
We need to go back and read Reba Left Behind crossover again.
You know what? You can
no,
actually
no.
you can watch the VODs edited videos in our videos section of this channel. So I've got a few of them up.
Let's see.
The VODs are like the original video, except they have nails hammered into them to make them more powerful.
They're killing-
To increase their killing power.
To increase their killing power, yeah. So definitely do that.
Well, it's kind of a bummer, though, that we opened this with something that didn't take nearly as long. I mean, it did it in 400 words, and so you probably feel pretty embarrassed now. Right?
You know what?
I mean,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. If you could be as satisfying as that first story in such a quick amount of time. I mean, boy,
Yeah.
that thing went down like a Thanksgiving meal.
yeah.
So quickly. Just so
Okay.
pleased.
Do we want to finish the chapter of 700
Yeah,
Days
I
of
feel like
Summer?
since
Is
we're
that-
in the middle of
Oh,
a
that's
chapter,
right.
we should
Yeah.
probably
since we're in the what?
in the middle of a
Okay.
chapter.
yeah, we had to leave
Ah,
off at. What was the last
Forgot.
line? We all had to say it at the end.
What is the cast list?
We'll find it. We'll find it.
RDG Daedalus shouts, "No!"
What could you clarify? What?
Spitfire says 700 pages of summer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Accurate.
What's most important about it is you in front of you.
I just want to sit off from it. That's okay.
I don't want to be on either.
Everybody get your U's in front of you. Okay, so 700 Days of Summer. A.k.a. has this new butler. You say he's in every class that she has at school, and that's not weird because he's also her bodyguard. And it was A.k.a. who ran off, right? Because
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
somebody was harassing her, and
It was a giant.
a
Okay.
giant was harassing her about the time that she stabbed her friend's drunk, abusive father in the gut, tenderly in the gut with.
Tenderly.
Wasn't that like a like
No,
softly
didn't she like
around the?
she
stomach?
stabbed around his stomach?
Or like
Right.
a
Yeah,
knife
right.
massage, but just like gone wrong.
Yeah. And then we found out that what's her name, Carly, had secretly filmed her them telling this story, and then broadcast it to the school. And that changed a lot of people's hearts, guys. That's
That was a
about
violation.
where we left off.
Yep. So while I was walking back home
Okay,
today,
Crow
Wild.
invited them all to see rehearsal for his band. Suddenly people walked over, right, apologizing, real tears falling down the face of a man who had towered over us and left us in fear. Let's just start there.
not at the
Giant.
place
Wait,
we
where's
left off,
that?
because that's where I am.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm
Then show the fuck
backtracking
off,
a little
right?
bit
God,
in
we're
order
not
to-
playing.
Just control
sorry.
find while I was walking back home.
This is
no,
where we
it-
should have left off.
All right, what did you say it was? What is it?
the giant saying, "Hey, I saw the video, and
All right.
I want to be a better man."
Oh, yeah. Okay, the better man.
Just gonna try to find.
I've got our cast list. I think Tracy was the giant, but I'm not totally sure. I was Crow, Yusei, Aki's dad. I used to be Carly, but Tracy sniped that from me in the last chapter. Ella and Tracy is also Goodwin, Jaeger, the miniature clown.
Now hold on a minute. We need to spread these out. That's too much responsibility for one man to voice so many characters.
Are you talking about mine or yours?
Chapter 3.
What do I search to find where we need to be?
No comments or anything. Or sorry, no commas or anything. Hey, I saw.
Yeah. Or real
Hey,
tears falling.
Okay, so this
Title's
is
my new
the
key.
Butch. This is the Butch kind of guy.
The giant. Isn't it?
They might be
Yeah.
giant.
Okay.
Hey,
sorry,
the video.
We have a new person
What?
in the chat saying, "I'm sorry, I mean this in a good way, but what the hell did I just find?"
Hi,
I don't know how long you've
Hi,
been
Fred.
listening, so we might have a lot more to explain. But basically, we read fan fiction aloud, mostly very bad fan fiction.
And then we laugh.
But we read it badly, so it's good.
Except, of course, for the previous entry, which was
Except,
far
of course,
Exceptional. Yeah, that was fine.
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's
Hey,
fan fiction.
Guns of
Okay.
Roses, wipe your feet. Okay?
Oh
That's
my
our only rule.
God.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, but I don't know that they actually play the card game in this. They're just in high school, so. All right.
Hell
And-
yes, I'm in, says Guns N' Roses. Welcome.
All right. Go ahead, Tracy.
Hey, I saw the video and I didn't know that. And even when people told me, I thought it was a lie. But when I saw you and your friends like that, with them helping you and you crying, I'm sorry.
It's a real testament for the power of reality television.
So tender.
Breaking privacy
Or an
laws.
invasive
It always
technology.
ends well.
Either way you want to look at it.
Yeah. Aki looked bitter for a moment, looking at her food, but turned to the guy and smiled. She stood up and, for a moment, I thought she was going to strike him for what he had done, but she gave him a quick hug, which really shocked me, and especially Yusei.
Hey, it's no problem. Everyone makes mistakes, Mr.
Aki asked nervously, not realizing we had not learned the giant's name yet.
Oh, sorry, the name is Haro. Haro Nakamura. And from now on, I will be a better man!
He's shouting.
Haro shouted it out loud, which scared the both of us. I think
Yeah.
we were more scared of him being nice than him being mean, but we all laughed at his attitude. He seemed to have a much better attitude than what we first thought. I looked over at Aki, a wave of relief
Oh
washing
yeah, a
over.
lot of people say that.
I looked over at Aki, a wave of relief washing over me that the truth had finally been brought to light. But I saw she still looked uneasy while it seemed she was forcing herself to stay. I sighed inwardly. It would take time for her to get used to the positive attention. I don't blame her. Suddenly, though,
To this day.
we all saw Carly being dragged through the doors by two teachers. We all looked nervously at one another and rushed over to her. I heard one of the teachers say,
Now, Miss Nagisa, you know what you did was against school rules. I'm going to have to give you detention this Saturday.
How dare you invade all those people's privacy like that and just record them without permission?
So I'm telling you now in front of everyone.
The laws must be different on the satellite or wherever the hell they are at this point.
Right.
Despite this, Domino City, there we go. Despite this, Carly smiled brightly as if she just woke up to a warm summer's day.
Okay.
You okay?
So are you taking Carly or am I taking Carly?
Well,
Okay.
somebody say iCarly.
You take Carly. No,
Okay.
No problem. I
no,
will be
me not
there.
Carly.
Right.
She doesn't
Carly-
realize that detention is code for spacing, right?
Carly said in a good-natured tone. Before she left, I wanted to ask her a question. Leaving my friends behind, I followed the trio for a few feet.
This is Mikage, right?
Mikage.
Yeah.
Drew was Mikage.
Sorry. Hey, Carly, how did you know to come up there?
She continued her smile and turned to me. Continued her smile.
Wait, is this her continuing?
Okay, Carly, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was told by that Yusei guy to help a not by recording her for the sake of recording, but apparently to help clear up what a lot of people thought of her previously.
Oh, that's right. It was all you say behind it all because he's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I just stood in my place after that while Carly was being dragged to her class. I was amazed at how much Yusei cared for Aki. I then smiled at the revelation. I am glad Aki found such a caring new friend, which got me thinking about the surprising care of another friend of mine, Jack. I sighed, my fears coming back for him in full force, and because of those fears, I couldn't concentrate for the rest of my classes. While I was walking back home today, I wondered about what I would do. He has been like this for years, and no matter what I say, he seems to disregard it. Eventually, I came back to my house and opened the door, and lying on the couch was my mother, sleeping. Her long, light blue hair was dangling from behind the headrest of the couch. My mother and I had several traits in common, including similar facial features, although some of the main differences are that she has a beauty mark on the lower side of her face.
Okay. And that one beauty
Lower
mark
side?
contains
Some
several
of
differences.
the main differences.
Yeah.
I smiled. She always works hard to support me and my sister. I often told her that I could find a job, but she refused as she told me she makes enough and that she does not want to go soft. What is she, a boxer?
She's napping in mid-afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. I walked over to her quietly and then rubbed her shoulder gently. She stirred a little before finally waking up.
Who wants to be Mikage's mom?
I'll do
Kidding?
it. But
You want to kill her off?
Oh yeah, is she gonna die?
Just
I was
remember,
Jesse.
Would like to do it.
okay.
Yeah, Jesse.
Just remember, her face is basically exactly the same shape as Mikage, so she's going to sound the same except for a beauty mark.
Okay,
on
Jesse,
the lower
can you-
half of her,
can you do
lower
that?
part of her
It's
face.
going to affect her voice.
By the
Yeah,
way,
just-
for the new people, Jack is Aki's bodyguard slash love
No,
interest
that's
slash.
you say.
Oh,
That's
I'm
you
lost.
say.
That's what you said.
Oh my god.
Jack Atlas is the
Atlas
master of
talks like
pasta.
this, and he drinks a lot out of a cooler.
Right.
Okay.
He's an alcoholic. That's what
Okay.
her
Jack's
fears
the
came.
alcoholic, and
Yeah.
you say was hired as her bodyguard slash butler.
Right. And
Jesse's the mom
Mikage's
with the
family,
beauty.
like, did something
Close.
bad to Jack's family at some point? Was that what it was? Was that the...
Well,
I don't remember.
Right in
well,
his mouth.
Mikage's dad was the drunk who beat them and then got stabbed by a key.
Okay.
As you do.
Yeah, Keith stabbed an abusive guy when he.
There's so many
plates.
plates spinning in the air with this story. Like, I
It's
don't know
very
how any of
complex.
us keep up.
Yeah, it's very Shakespearean
Let's just keep it
or
going.
operatic. Actually, it's very opera.
Yeah.
Let Jesse speak.
Yeah, guys. Oh my god.
What? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to fall asleep. Sorry, I got a day off. I thought I would rest for a while. So how was your day?
She smiles at me warmly. Despite what happened, she always tried to remain strong and for the most part succeeded. I gave her a weak smile.
This is true.
Wait, who? What? Huh?
It's you, Drew.
There wasn't even a drinking game tonight, Drew. Come on.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Nothing much, but I do have a question.
She pulled me down to sit on the couch with her. I felt a little nervous about telling her about Jack. How do you explain our situation to a parent?
All right,
Mikage.
Mikage, what is your question?
I look to the right nervously. Her smile disappears and she looks at me worriedly. I couldn't give away Jack's name to her. She'd go to the police. She already knew Jack is a nice guy when he came over, but I couldn't tell her the truth about him. Otherwise, there would be many problems and she would not let me go near him ever again.
There's this guy I know.
But before I could finish, she smiles again and interrupts me.
Oh, you have a boyfriend? That's wonderful. But why do you look so nervous? Did he do something to you? Because if he did, I'm going to kick his ass.
I held my... I shouldn't have tried to interrupt you. That was good.
She was pulled away like the forgotten.
Shepherd's crook just took her off stage. I held my arms out and waving my hands frantically in front of me, trying to calm her down. I certainly did not want her to kick Jack's ass.
No. It's not like that at all. Well, he's not my boyfriend, but he has been acting like kind of a jerk lately.
Like a boyfriend should.
I mean,
I guess is the implication
I
there.
know.
My mother had calmed down and had a look of understanding on her face. Her right brow arched up, though.
So, what are you saying? Who is this guy?
I sighed heavily. I couldn't give away his name. My mother tilted her head curiously at me.
Yeah, Spitfire said this whiplash from this shifting from past to present tense is giving me whiplash. We did consider making that the drinking game, but like, do you also drink when it goes back the other way?
Right.
I mean,
This
and
is That's up to you, I guess.
What's his name did, right?
What's that?
What is this? The one that Scooby?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Scooby 821 looked over all of this.
35974334.
So
yeah.
I believe it's 82101.
it is.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh. I don't know. That's what you get for trusting a Scooby-Doo fan.
Whoa.
He's not a
Okay.
Scooby-Doo fan. He's just a Scooby snack fan.
Well, they just really like scat. Okay.
God. What?
I
The music, Michael.
Scooby-Doo. That kind of cat.
God. Oh my.
Oh,
Okay.
way to take us to the gutter, Michael.
I'm gonna forge ahead.
Quinn said.
Grab onto us from the dark reaches of the deep web and pull us into your world of
Michael T. Bradley
despair.
will drag you under by the... Okay. Don't want to say it.
Trying to read this wholesome story about precise stabbing.
About a nice stab in a boy
Alcoholism
butler.
and abuse. Don't bring scat into this.
I don't want to say his name. It won't be important.
My mother moved a little closer and rubbed my hair to get me warm. Okay. My mother moved a little closer and rubbed my hair to get me warm up to telling her. I still refused.
That's what I do. I just...
Ow.
If you
Give
don't
him a
give me a
noogie.
name, I might not be able to help.
Oh my God, she's the cops. Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
She didn't know.
I looked down sadly. I did not want to be separated from helping Jack.
What? Huh?
I asked for my lawyer.
Huh?
Please, Mom. It's really personal.
My mother sighed but gave a smile of understanding. I could tell that even though the fact that I was hiding it annoyed her, she understood that it was personal to me. Since I had just said, it's really personal. Mom had basic comprehensive skills. That was good.
All right. So, what do you want to do with this mystery boy?
Now that I can go into graphic detail about.
God, Michael.
She said the last two words jokingly. I giggled a bit, but then got back to my grim face.
Well, better get back to my grim face.
I took
I'm
a
making a grim face,
giggling,
guys.
but back at my grim face.
Face, go back to grim. Activate.
Go gadget grim face.
I took a deep sigh and prepared to explain to her. Even when you're a teenager, explaining situations like that to your parents can be extremely difficult, as well as embarrassing. I love my mother dearly, but she's already shown she wants me in a relationship with a boy.
Oh.
Badly, I might add.
Oh,
I guess
boy.
she wants someone to protect me? I have no idea.
Yeah, really. Why? Gross, Mom.
Honey,
Is
you're
this-
almost 15. Why aren't
Okay.
you fucking him yet?
Hey,
Don't be a
Mom.
lesbian.
Wow.
Don't be a lesbian.
Hey, Mom.
I want to
wow.
help him. I want to show him how good life can be if he gave it a chance. He refuses to acknowledge that, but I want to teach him.
My mother frowned now.
His
She
name's
looked to the
Boll Weevil.
top
Check it
right.
out.
What was that?
His name's Boll Weevil. Check it out. Sorry.
Spend all day.
She looked to the top right as if to say she had her doubts.
Top right.
She has to, like, really quick. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's the
Michael
one that
and
means
Kristen,
she has
look
her
at the
doubts.
top right. Oh, Michael was
Let me check my doubt meter on the wall.
Oh, sorry. I'm reversed. I have to
Yeah, there you go, top right.
I expected this. She had raised me for years.
Oh, well, Mikage.
Okay, wait, all right. Struggling.
Well, Mikage, people are hard to change. Your father, during his days of drinking.
My mother started shaking a bit while her hands curled into fists.
And blah, 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 blah.
Almost to point, her knuckles were white. I put my hands on hers to calm her down. She looks at me and sighs again.
He refused all the help we tried to give him. But this guy might be a different case, so maybe you can help him out. Just don't count on him completely changing.
Her voice sounded tight as she said this, but she still gave me a warm smile. I gave my mother a hug after that. I love it when my mother cheered me up like that.
Yeah, good going, Mom.
What,
Thank you, Mom.
Don't count on much. I'm so cheered up now.
Yeah, right? How did that work? Oh, thank you, Mom.
You could hear her sigh a little from the warmth of the embrace. We separated after a few minutes.
You're
Really
welcome.
long hug.
Yeah. It's like the end of Bed of Roses.
It's like, can I go? No, longer. Stay in the embrace. Getting hot. No.
She's sighing from the warmth of my embrace. That's what it is.
You're welcome. Now remember, if you ever need help, just ask. I care deeply about you, Mikage, and I love you, how you are willing to help people. But please remember that there are limits to how far you can help someone. And besides, if he continues acting like a jerk, a good old-fashioned kick in the ass will do good.
Hey, Mom, why all this ass-kicking talk? Jesus.
She's a cop, man.
I'm a kick in the ass.
Mom's fun.
This
I
mom
will
does
show
not
you
wanna
how to
go
use a
soft.
phone book so that it doesn't
Yeah.
leave marks.
Yeah.
She winked jokingly at me, and I smiled at my mother's attitude. I loved my mom so much. She had attitude, but was still all around kind and gentle. Well,
Attitude
to
could
us.
also be a drinking game with
Yeah.
As long as you weren't an ass.
Yeah.
To us at least. Part of me wished I could be as bold as she was, but that trait hadn't been passed on to me.
Oh, it's genetic. What, you got dad's alcoholism? Okay, sorry. No, never mind. Skip that. Moving on.
No, but she got her mom's love of alcoholics, apparently.
Oh, no. That's worse.
Suddenly, we heard loud banging coming downstairs. I recognized those banging steps. It was my 6-year-old. It was banging steps.
Here comes old loud banging.
Woo! Check out those steps. Banging.
It was my 6-year-old sister, Kaoru.
Oh.
Kaoru
sorry.
had much.
Kaoru, I think.
Kaoru. Kaoru.
Caillou.
Cow-
That's it.
What?
He's
Caillou.
Canadian.
Let's
Caillou.
work this
Caillou?
as if it's Caillou.
Much shorter hair? It could be. Kaoru had much shorter hair than me, and her hair was a much lighter blue like my mother's. She had my father's eyes, and she was a little atom bomb, full of energy. I loved having her as a sister, even on those days. I want to assume that originally it was nuclear, and Scooby was like, "That's too violent. You don't want that." I loved having her as a sister, even on those days. I don't care if it didn't work. God damn it! I'm continuing to read. Shut up.
I thought it was really funny.
Thank you. I loved having her as a sister, even on those days when she had a little too much sugar.
Okay.
My mother was pregnant around the time my father was arrested, and Kaoru did not know about the incident until years later when she would understand the gravity of it. Oh my God.
Anyone want to be Kaoru?
I will.
Do it.
Do it.
Mommy, I'm hungry.
My mother stopped our hug.
6-year-old. Jeez.
Disengaging hug.
Sweetie, we're going to have to stop hugging now.
And
There's a lot of latches I need to loosen to get out of this hug. Hold on.
Oh, the timer's going off. It's time to stop the hug.
my mother
Aw,
stopped our
Mom.
hug and stood up. She stretched to get the blood flowing around her body.
Can't feel anything. Can't feel anything.
What is wrong with us
What, did
Americans?
she
Are we
also-
this starved for affection? We don't
Did she
hug like
also
normal
need
people.
to?
What were you saying, Justin?
Did she also need to get the blood flowing back to her brain? Because it seems like she forgot her child's name.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Corral.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caribou.
Karu! I thought you weren't hungry a while ago.
My mother replied lightly while she stretched her arms over her head. Kaoru simply spun around and fell on the sofa onto her back.
I wasn't hungry back then. I'm hungry now.
My mother rolled her eyes while I giggled at my sister's childish excuse. That's how hunger works. Like, that's not.
I weren't hungry then. You can't be hungry now.
I felt peckish, you flip-flopper. I felt peckish myself, so I copied her. My mother glanced at me, telling me with her eyes not to teach my sister bad habits, but she still wore a smile. Even after all we've been through, she still smiles. It shows how strong she is. So we all went to the kitchen and we started preparing dinner together. My mother and I cooked with my sister setting the dinner table. While we were cooking, I made my decision. I wanted to help him. I was not going to care what he thought. He needed to be shown what he was ignoring. I knew Jack could be a really nice guy if given a chance, and he would give the chance back. I wanted to see him
It's a
smile.
chance back guarantee.
I hated the fact that he was so angry towards almost everything. I wanted to get rid of the alcohol, for it was not helping matters one bit. If anything, it was making things worse.
Yeah.
Really?
Think so?
I knew what my father had become thanks to mounds of alcohol, and I did not want Jack to become the same. I didn't want to lose him like I did with my father, or have Aki attack him with a butcher knife.
Yeah.
I swore on my life that I would help him, and nothing will stop me from doing that. Please review or comment. Any constructive criticism is helpful.
You can't mound
Mounds of
alcohol.
alcohol for
Mounds
breakfast?
of alcohol. Great heaping mounds of alcohol.
Wow. I can't believe we got through so much of that chapter last time, because that took forever, and it was like...
That was.
Oh yeah.
That was a monster chapter. Yeah.
Let me
All right.
see.
He doesn't just keep it in mounds, though. He does keep it in a closet,
This is
in
another
a
long
cooler,
one. Okay,
in his
Lord.
mansion.
Oh my god.
we're gonna
Too
go.
much.
We're gonna go over to Love or Lust, because it seems like Newcomer 24 runs out of ideas far faster than to Shogun, dude. Let me put the link in the chat. Mounds of
Tricks and
detail.
traps.
Yes.
All right. Chapter 10.
I'm gonna go into a bar and ask for whiskey, 1 mound.
Honestly,
We're out of mound. Do you want an almond joy?
Yeah,
do you want
exactly.
to?
Yeah.
Do you want to give a summation?
For Lust. Okay, this is a Star Fox fan fiction in which
Yes, the
Wolf,
8-bit game.
well, 16-bit.
No,
and then
actually,
64.
so
Okay.
sorry.
It's
Nerd
never
alert.
been an 8-bit game.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, you're old.
Okay.
Double the bits.
Wolf O'Donnell is a vampire. All of Star Wolf was turned into a vampire by the SW49 serum or whatever. And Wolf turned Crystal into a vampire and then abducted Crystal and is training her in his castle. And of course, Star Fox is, scrambling to get her back and failing.
You can't forget the most important detail, which
What's
is that
7 days a week.
Wolf has
Certified
changed his
month.
name. Wolf changed
Oh,
his
yeah,
name.
Wolf-
He's
Wolf-
Volk,
Yeah,
Yeah.
his vampire
Yes.
name is now Volk, which
which he
Wolf
learned
in
Yeah,
Russian.
from Russian Ishner.
Right.
A documentary about
Actually,
Russian animation.
It's Volk.
Yeah. When reading up about 1930s Russian animation.
He learned a tidbit, and he made good use of it. He keeps these things and shares them.
You walk around with the stuff in your pocket, you gotta spend it.
We
All right.
also
That was how Jules Verne worked, actually. He'd just write little things on little slips of paper and throw them in a story later.
we also have a drinking
God.
game going for Cobalt Vixen. We've read 9 chapters, and so far the phrase Cobalt Vixen has come up 72 times.
Oh golly.
I might
My
have to go get
stomach
more
is empty.
wine.
This will go poorly.
Oh, this is gonna be a good chapter. Is who's in this?
Voice acting wise?
Kevin, I thought if you didn't say Vern, it sounded like Vern, and that reminded me of a dream I had last night. I was visiting all you guys in Colorado, and Jesse left, and I was like, "Oh, where's she going?" And they were like, "She's going to see the new Ernest movie," and I was like, "God damn it, I want to go."
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, how did you? We didn't tell anybody about that.
It's the best kept secret in Hollywood.
I'm pretty sure he's been dead since the last season of Roseanne, but it's like, anyway.
They made it work.
Yeah. I have ever since about 6 months into the pandemic, most of my dreams anymore are just me hanging out with people because my brain is like, what the fuck, dude? So
Last dream I remember, I was walking through. I'm always in this huge complex, big mall building, but I was trying to find a hospital to reattach my penis. So. And I was actually wondering, I wonder why I'm not bleeding to death.
All right.
Freud would be like, there's no subtext here. This is just
Nothing there.
Yeah.
You're fine.
It's a normal dream. Nothing.
Thanks,
Okay.
Dad, for sharing that story.
This is a good time. I think that we are looking for people to mercilessly edit these broadcasts.
Okay, all right. So
You just can't handle me being a sexual being.
Oh God!
Is it too early to quit?
Cast list.
Okay, I'm just
come
gonna
on.
grab my
Yeah.
wine real quick.
It's gonna play the drinking game in advance.
I'm gonna win.
Okay,
We'll just bet on it. You drink a whole. I think it's going to be like a whole bottle.
Let's see. Do we?
I'm drinking
do we have
water
a-
this time.
Okay, so Tristan is Fox, Leon, Farah, and Faye. Quinn is Crystal and Bill. Tracy is Slippy, Wolf, Volk. Miyu, General Pepper. Kevin is Falco and Orlando. Drew is Peppy. Kitty is Panther, Cat, and Lucy.
I think
Orlando's
if
an
Jesse's
OC
here,
vampire
then
hunter, by
Jesse
the
is
way.
Cat.
Right. Jesse will be cat
Okay.
since she's actually here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Your rule originally.
All right. This is my favorite part, getting to play the author.
Yeah.
These are usually the best parts.
Hold on here. This chapter will contain some dialogue between Fox and Farah that will reference how they had a thing once. Back in chapter 5 of 100 one-shot stories, I said that I would feature the other girls in other stories. As such, I made Farah a vampire hunter and Faye and Miyu vampires in order to say that I didn't know what to do with them. Also, in each story, I'll make Farah friendlier to Crystal, as there is a number of stories that feature the two vixens at each other's
that's that word.
That extends to each of their fandoms as well. Crystal didn't steal Fox from Farah. The girls are from different continuities. Guys, please cool it when you talk about the two and try to debate on who's better. As for the story, I hope you are enjoying it. If you want to leave a positive review or a negative review, leave one. Okay, let's get on with Chapter 10. Chapter 10, Tricks and Traps. Falco found himself being locked in the dungeon, the same cell as Cat and Bill.
What the? I'm being locked in the dungeon!
By Faye, with the Spaniel still having her chipper demeanor.
Damn it, Spaniel! Why are you doing this?
The avian moan.
Is that a slur? I mean, is it okay to call her that?
That's their word.
I was looking for a job before Lord Volk made me a vampire.
Faye stated.
Even though that wasn't an option.
What?
Huh?
What?
I don't know. While I know that it's wrong for me to turn my back on my mortality, I have to admit, being a vampire is fun.
There's nothing in the rule book that says a spaniel can't be a vampire.
Whoa, I didn't know Falco would say things like this. What the fuck is fun about not being able to go out in the sun?
Falco, well, he's just been thrown in a dungeon, right? So.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
He was like semi-seduced / hypnotized. So.
Well, okay. Oh, was
And
he? I thought he was
present.
just grabbed.
He was hypnotized too, yeah.
Oh, okay. Falco asked,
What's fun about outliving your friends and family? What's fun about being only able to consume blood of other people? What's fun about all that?
You can stay up all night, though.
The spaniel smiled.
You can even turn those you care about into vampires.
You're crazy.
The avian said.
Don't worry, I'll convince Wolf to turn you into a vampire.
Faye said as she walked out of the dungeon room.
That little idiot!
Cat spoke.
I know, right?
Falco asked rhetorically.
You do know, yes.
Do you know?
A rhetorical note in Falco's
right?
voice.
How can you betray your own mortality in exchange for immortality?
Lucy asked in utter disgust.
What's worse?
What?
Oh, it's Bill.
But was she asking rhetorically or not? That's my question.
And what's worse is that Wolf is corrupting them.
Bill said,
In the very least, Crystal won't kill and feed on us.
Cat said,
That's the problem.
Falco
Whenever
sighed.
someone gets bitten by a vampire, they have to remain grateful to said vampire. This is a new rule.
That's
That's
the
why we
problem.
celebrate
Gratitude.
Thanksgiving.
Is this legacy of Cain elements?
For all we know, Wolf could force her to feed on all of us.
Well, if we die, at least we're gonna die together.
The pink cat looked at her boyfriend.
Pink cat, that's all he had? I mean, you know, it's no Cobalt Vixen. Pink
That's like
cat.
fuchsia feline.
I know, honey. I know, honey.
The avian said softly,
I just hope that Fox, Slippy, Farah, and the anti-vampire get here. To call him the anti-vampire. Get here before Starwolf makes us into husks.
I assume.
I'm sure they'll get here.
what was that, Tristan?
I assume that means Orlando, the anti-vampire?
Yeah.
He must be the anti-vampire.
Yeah, he's the vampire hunter. So. Cat said after kissing him on the beak. Oops.
Fox.
We need to be careful out here, guys.
Fox said as he, Slippy, Farah, and Orlando ran.
What do you mean, McLeod?
Our cloud! Orlando asked. I assume
don't know
that's
what
Slippy.
New character.
No, Fox.
It's Todd from Scrubs.
It's a
Hi, my
Fox.
name's Todd. I'll be your server tonight.
That
Because
is-
Todd.
I assume it's Slippy and he
1D?
misspelled
No.
Toad,
No.
right?
No,
No?
we have a Fox expert.
Hello, I raised a domestic fox. It's a fox. It's a male fox.
Oh,
Fox
this is like
apparently a Todd.
this is like deer or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it
We're
was,
learning
I thought
all
it was
sorts
supposed
of
to
things.
be the toad.
That's right.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's pretty
Slippy
confusing.
talks next, so it can't. It can't.
Yeah, it's gotta
Oh
be
my-
Fox. This
the
person
Todd.
is so damn world-wise.
Apparently, Todd is the protagonist of Disney's 1981 animated feature film, The Fox and the Hound.
And that's where it
Yeah.
comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today,
Oh, is that the basis for Todd's Wild
Completely
Ride?
forgot about that.
But I thought it was just his name. I didn't realize
Okay,
it was whole
Todd.
sex.
I mean that there might be more traps out here.
The Todd said.
He's right.
Slippy said.
We need to be cautious.
Wolf no doubt set up thousands of them to kill us.
Farah ventured. The four then ceased running, intent on looking out for another deadly trap. Little did
Cease
they know.
running.
All right, cease running and now stop.
Now it's time we hug.
Begin the hug.
Little did they
Set a
know.
timer.
Little did they know, a couple of odd creatures were watching their every move. Not Todd creatures, odd creatures.
Now that we've stopped running,
Farah quietly spoke.
I want to ask you something, Fox.
What is it?
Fox asked.
Do you trust Crystal now that she's a vampire?
The Fennec asked.
I would trust her on anything she said.
The Vulpine stated,
Even if she became a vampire, I would still spend the rest of my life with her.
Good to know.
oh, get sadder
Good
there,
to-
sadder.
Yeah.
Good to know.
The Fennec sadly stated.
Why did you ask me that?
Fox asked,
Is something wrong?
I just keep thinking about when we were dating.
Farah sighed.
Back when it was just you, Falco, Slippy, and Peppy on the team, things were simpler. Now
Extra
everything
basic.
now everything just keeps going to hell.
Are you saying that Crystal stole me from you?
The Vulpine asked, thinking that Farah was jealous of the Cobalt Vixen.
There we go. Come on, Vixen.
We broke up years before I even met her. There's no reason to be jealous of her.
Why? We broke up years before I even met her, and you think she stole me from? Okay.
Wasn't this from different continuities? Wasn't that? Oh, okay.
You're from a different universe.
I'm not saying
No,
that
she's
at
from
all.
that special stage that you can get into in Sector X.
The Fennec
It's a
said,
side mission.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that things were a lot more peaceful back then. Crystal has nothing to do with everything spiraling out of control. It's more or less the galaxy not being free from evil. It's a fallen world, you see. I have no idea what she's talking about. Just for the record.
I know
I'm
how
not
you
saying
feel.
that I'm not saying that Crystal caused it. I'm just saying that ever since she's come, everything's horrible.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
Fox said.
but I didn't think that you would be reminded of how things were back then. The galaxy wasn't really safe either, what with Andros being around. I also didn't think that you would become a vampire slayer. Just throwing out various things that I didn't think. It's the only through line to this line of dialogue.
Toys R Us went out of business. That got me as well. Built-in fan base, right?
Just because my family's rich doesn't mean that I can't have a job.
I want to do a callback to that weird line that the captor had before. Like, I was looking for a job, even though that was impossible. But it didn't. Like, it made so little
Just
sense.
because it's not an option.
Right. Farrah chuckled.
Why do you think that I joined your team back then?
I guess that I was a little presumptuous there.
The Vulpine said,
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Farrah smiled. Orlando stopped walking and put up his arm.
What's
Heil
wrong?
Hitler. Fox asked.
There's another trap.
The coyote vampire hunter stated.
It's a pitfall with spikes on the bottom.
To increase its
They're killing
killing
her.
power?
It's a pit with nails driven
Let's not milk that forever.
We might, though.
through it. How do we get past it?
Farrah asked.
We could jump over it.
Slippy suggested.
I think we learned this in pep rally, right? Can't go around it. Gotta climb it. Never mind. Apparently, they don't do that anymore.
Or they don't do that. What,
Ever?
20 years ago?
Haven't you seen the size of this pitfall?
Orlando asked.
Aren't you concerned that you might die?
Why would he have?
Death is what gives life its meaning.
The toad said.
That's what a lot of people say.
They also try to avoid it.
All right.
Shut up, the Todd.
You're braver than anyone else I know.
The coyote stated.
So you should show us how you would get past this pitfall.
Slippy took a few steps back before running. The toad then took a massive leap over the pitfall. To everyone's surprise, he made it over to the other side without a scratch.
He's a toad. That's his thing.
He is a
Jumping.
toad.
Come on. Why are you surprised?
Fox, Farrah, and Orlando followed suit, even though they needed to be caught by Slippy before they fell to their deaths.
But that's okay, because that's what gives life its meaning.
Right.
I mean, that's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say.
I see Slippy
A
catching
lot
them.
of people are saying that death is what gives life its meaning. Okay.
That's the word on the street.
Slippy
But I thought they all
grabs,
could
talking.
fly.
Slippy grabs each of them and he's like, "Do you want your to have me?"
But I thought they could fly. Can't they fly? They have
In-
back
in-
No,
or
no, no.
something,
The
right?
vampires.
Oh, just the vampires? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Once they were across, the four continued to walk through the forest.
That was impressive, Slip.
Farrah said,
Figure if I could do it, anyone could.
Slippy modestly blushed.
What's a toad? What color does a toad blush?
Yeah.
Dark green? I don't know.
Jesse,
All right.
no? I'm just kidding.
I could have done that any day of the week.
Orlando claimed. There was a rustling noise in the trees.
What's that sound?
Fox asked.
I like that sound.
Stop,
Hey,
everybody.
now.
What's that sound?
Everybody look what's going on.
What's on top?
Who's moving a stone tablet across the
That's Tracy forever fighting with his mic, I think.
Yeah, that's me.
It might be another trap.
Farrah said. All of a sudden, two
Suddenly a
werewolf...
pit emerged from the
All of a sudden, 2 werewolf-like creatures popped out of the trees.
Werewolf-like.
What?
They were
Parts of them?
werewolf, like half werewolf, half man.
Well, isn't half a werewolf just a man?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
They
you.
look like
It could just be
We're all technically
guys.
half werewolves.
Right. It could just be
They're
guys
both-
and hirsute guys, and
there's
it's
only
fairly
3 of them.
werewolf-like.
Yeah.
But maybe they just act werewolf-like.
Like Wolfman Jack.
Not real werewolves, but an incredible simulation.
Whoa!
Sorry,
That's
do
a
that.
trap, all right.
There.
Slippy said,
And it's one that we can get through.
Orlando said as he pulled out a metal whip. In response, one of the creatures howled. This caused several of their fellow monsters to surround the 4 intruders.
Let's do this.
It just naturally causes that.
Yeah.
Fuck. I hear like battle music kicking in, you know, like.
Yeah.
Fox said as he pulled out his blaster.
This day just keeps getting better and better.
Orlando smiled. The creatures rushed towards the group, but they underestimated their targets. Fox managed to kill 2 of them with his blaster. While he did that, Farah took out a stake and impaled one of the creatures with it. Slippy was no slouch either, as he killed some with little effort. Jesus. Now your life has
Slippy, this is not even 1% of my power.
Whoa! This is not even 1% of my power.
The one who had the highest body count was Orlando, who was using his whip and his martial arts training without any problem. God, no problem.
Smooth sailing.
Natural 20.
It would seem that they were winning this encounter. However, one of the monsters grabbed Fox's blaster and snapped it in half.
Spitfire asks, so in this world, what is a werewolf? Like a cat turning into a wolf? A wolf turning into a big
No
wolf?
people.
I think it's probably an ape.
Since
An ape wolf.
What did I say?
Ape wolf?
Farah used a stake on
There
them,
are 3 of
I think
them?
they are in fact vampires, which are kind of like werewolves.
They're werewolf.
Sometimes-
As evidenced by your expertly written character, Vampire Jamal.
Vampire Jamal, who changed it into a wolf. Yep.
Right.
All right. Hey!
The Vulpine complained before the creature began swinging at him. Time out.
Trying to kill me,
Ducks
Jack.
and foxes? Come
Yeah.
on. Duck fox.
Orlando said as he swung his whip.
I mixed up the first letters.
Fox
I'll take
listened.
the duck. You take the fox.
Fox listened to the coyote, managing to keep his head when the latter swung his whip. The strike managed to kill the creature in the process. However, it also sliced a tree in half. In addition to that, Farah was in the line of sight of being crushed by it.
It's really not in addition to that. It's this,
that's kind of the whole
second
crux
half
of the
that.
matter. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
However, it also sliced a tree in half.
Sadly.
And if that weren't bad enough,
Farah, heads up.
Fox shouted as he ran towards her. Luckily, he pushed her, and they both rolled out of the way of the falling tree.
You saved
Not
my
how
life.
momentum works.
What was that?
It's not how momentum works. If he pushed her, if he grabbed her and kept going.
Right, yeah.
You saved my life.
The Phoenix smiled.
Just like the good old days, right?
Fox joked.
I guess so.
She said as she got up from the ground.
Let's continue on.
Orlando said,
We are close to where Starwolf is at. I can feel it.
the group continued to walk, only to stop when they caught a glimpse of an enormous castle.
Castlevania elements.
That's
That must...
no, I lost my
no,
place.
not me.
That must be where Wolf is keeping everyone.
Fox said.
It's huge.
Farah said.
Not only that, but it'll take us take days for us to get through it completely.
Orlando looked at the massive building.
Not only is it large, it'll take a long time to explore.
However, it's big.
Now that we're here, we should go in.
Slippy stated. Unfortunately
That's
for
what I was
the unfortunately for the toad, Leon was near him. Without any warning, the chameleon grabbed him.
Fox!
Slippy cried.
Slippy! Sorry, that was a little more Fred Schneider than Fox.
I didn't hear it, so.
The
He
whole
didn't come
shack
through on this
slippy.
Slippy!
Fox shouted.
It's Leon.
Ferris said in contempt.
I said that in Leon's voice. Let me do that again. It's Leon.
You're every character in this scene.
I know, I'm sorry.
Ferris said in contempt.
That's right.
The chameleon said in delight.
And Volk wants you all out of here.
I take it that your leader renamed himself?
Indeed.
Just
You see,
like
he was reading on Russian animation.
Orlando asked.
Indeed.
Leon chuckled.
I don't suggest putting up a fight. Not if you want to see the prisoners alive. You bastard! We'll get you.
Fox growled.
We'll get you, Wolf, and Panther. When you creeps are gone, we'll take Crystal and our friends back.
Try it, McLeod.
The chameleon said as he flew off with Slippy. When the drawbridge to the castle opened, he entered with the toad.
Damn him.
Fox snarled.
Why do they
Don't
bother
worry.
putting down the drawbridge when they can all fly?
Yeah.
Seems like a security risk. It's completely unnecessary. I'm gonna flame.
Rate the author.
Oh no.
Even negative reviews are
Please send
appreciated.
flames. Yeah, but please send flames by snail mail only.
in triplicate.
Don't worry. We'll get him back.
Ferris said.
We'll get them all back.
Orlando said.
We just need to defeat Starwolf.
How?
Oh, I'm beyond
It just
wasting.
occurred to him.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm beyond wanting to save my friends and feeling the need to kill Starwolf.
Fox said.
Now I want to rip Wolf, or whatever he may call himself, to pieces. Not only has he and his cronies turned some of our allies into vampires, but he's also kidnapped our friends, and he's trying to turn Crystal into a new him. We're entering that castle, and we're leaving with our friends safe and Wolf as a pile of ash.
Statement of intent.
And a nice recap for the story so far.
Yeah. Okay, this is what we're doing. Everybody good? Let's end the chapter.
There might be obstacles in front of the castle.
Ferris said.
Ah, never
Not
mind
to-
then.
Not to mention crazy monsters.
Orlando claimed.
Monsters.
Hey, aren't you the expert, Orlando? On monsters? Oh, crazy
Like,
monsters.
he's like the TMZ
Don't mention them. I
vampire
said
hunter.
don't mention them. They're
And so be
attention
it.
whores. Just ignore them.
Then so be it.
Fox said.
Down.
Fox is starting to get more vicious, but then again, why wouldn't he want revenge on Starwolf? Considering how they did the stuff they did, including the stuff in the story, you can't help but be on Fox's side a little. All he needs is a weapon so that he can fight the monsters and adversaries that will await him. Also, that death gives life
Hell's
its
in it.
meaning speech Slippy said. It's not him being nihilistic. Hell, you can consider the Toad an anti-nihilist. What did you
Okay.
What did you think of this chapter? If you liked it or not, leave a review. Until next time, guys, peace.
Hey, baby, did you know you can consider the Toad an anti-nihilist?
Try licking it.
Well, now you made it dirty.
That's not dirty. It's drug reference.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a nice, wholesome drug reference.
So we need to leave.
You kids can't appreciate that I'm a drugging person.
All right. Well, we're past our time. So tune in next week where perhaps Fox will face an obstacle or maybe even a crazy monster.
Hope he finds a weapon.
Yeah, he doesn't
Hey,
even
what's
have his
happening
blaster
Sunday?
anymore.
I think I saw a 2x4 that he could try nail gun to increase the.
You got one bed.
Yeah, what is for
I
Sunday?
feel like you're really driving a nail in a dead horse to increase its killing power. Okay.
Wow. I can't top that. Sunday.
Because there's not time.
Sunday, we're going to try to show Ghost Rider. That's if we can find the time to actually work on it this week. But yeah, we show movie riffs on Sunday nights, and we do fan fiction theater every Wednesday night. And the movie riffs it's like Mystery Science Theater. We talk over a movie, we make jokes, and we stream the whole thing here.
It's like watching a movie, but we're there.
It's like watching a movie, but these people are talking over it the entire time.
Exactly. And
But it's
No,
safer
it's not
because
like
you
that
can't
at
throw
all,
juju
really.
beads at us.
yeah, no, it's all like scripted and like very tight. We have a lot of jokes per minute. And
LPMs.
Yeah. And kind of speaking of, we're going to raid. Sorry, not speaking of. We're going to raid Meilu, who was here earlier. I was going to raid somebody else, but she just came online, and since she stopped by, it's like watching a movie, but it's Jurassic Park. That's good.
Yes.
It's an in joke.
That's hysterical.
And for those of you who are new, I just want to say you might have noticed that I have not mentioned a drummer yet. Well, we do.
Yeah, let's get all of our in references in at the end here. We're gonna raid Meilu. It might take a second for her stream to like technically start, but I think she's gonna be playing some Majora's Mask. And remember it all going according to plan. And have a good night.
Have a grat Tim.
All right.